Hi, you guys. This is the screencast for the social research format. I know you have a few days left. I just thought that this screencast would be helpful to finalize or to do the finishing touches for your social research project. The social research project would be credited for the midterms as your final project, and here it goes. The email, of course, is kevin.olmedo@gmail.com. That is the email that we have been using so far since the prelims. That's the email that I'm sure you're familiar with that. The subject line first is, of course, you need to place the schedule, the time schedule. If you're a T-SCED, TTH. If you're in MSCED, MWF. Then your time, and then the title of the study. Okay, I would just like to remind you that you should just submit one paper per group. Okay. Um, so I'm expecting one email per group, one social research email per group. The format is Arial 11. 11 is the base font. Um, Line spacing, it's 2. Okay. Margins, it's going to be 1112. On top, 1. On the right side, 1. At the bottom, it's 1. And at the left side, on the left side, it's 2. File format, it's PDF format. Now, you have to place a cover page. Okay, I'm going to give you the format of the cover page later. Table of contents is optional. Acknowledgement part is optional. You have to place an abstract. Now, chapter 1. Okay, chapter 1, the introduction. Just give a 1 to 3 paragraphs background of the study, a short introduction of what your study is all about. Um, Statement of the problem. It should just be 1 to 5 problems. I'm sorry. It should be 3 to 5 problems. Okay, we just want it to be manageable. We don't want to answer many problems with such limited time and skill. We also have the significance of the study, 1 to 2 paragraphs. Scope and delimitation, 1 to 2 paragraphs. Significance of the study, again, this part emphasizes on what is the key contribution of your study. Should it provide, or will it provide baseline knowledge? Would it provide as a foundation for other researches? For scope and delimitation, basically this talks about what are the aspects that you are going to focus, or what are the things that you want to take on your study, or what are the things that you won't be including in your study. Okay. Theoretical framework, it's best that you should make a short introduction, and then you make a diagram, okay, for your theoretical framework. If you don't place an introduction, you can place a paragraph to explain right after the diagram. Let me give you an example. Okay, the theoretical framework or the conceptual framework, just give me a second, alright? All you need to place here is just a diagram for your study. Okay? A diagram explaining the different aspects that you want to take, or you want to take up in your study. In this case, this research is about faith healing of one group. The one group is going to study faith healing. At the center, you have the patients, and what they do, they are going to determine what are the social demographic backgrounds of the patients or the respondents. Okay, taking up um, taking up, or who are, participating in faith healings. What are the common illnesses, okay, or ailments of the respondents? What is the faith profile? With regards to faith profile, I'm not quite sure what do they mean by that, but I think I am yet to read their full paper. Now, after determining the background of the patients or the respondents based on these three factors, they're going to determine the healing experiences. Okay, So after this diagram, what they did is they gave a short explanation. This short explanation could just be one paragraph to explain what is the diagram all about. Alright? So I think that's clear. Now, chapter 2, review of related literature. This is what I call as the copy paste part. You should just get 5 to 10 literatures. 5 would be, I think, it's minimal. 7 would be ideal. 10 literatures is maximum. Alright? And you have to take note that you need to use the APA format for citation. Okay? Take note again that you need really to use the format for APA citation. Okay, I'll let you see one example. Okay, this is the format of having one works by single author. You have the last name, the date of publication, works by multiple author, um, last names of the authors, and then you have the um, works by associations, corporations, blah blah blah, government agencies, etc. Works with no author. Okay, class, I'm going to upload this file later for your reference. Just take note that you need to use APA format for citation. This means that if you're going to copy paste any piece of information online, or if you're going to type any information coming from any book, that you have not plagiarized it. APA format is a good way to cite what are your, or from where are your sources. Okay, chapter 3, methodology. You have the introduction, 1 to 2 paragraphs. Class, remember that for every chapter, it's good that you give an introductory note, okay, just so as to explain or just to ease in the readers into the chapter. Okay, for the introduction part of the methodology, 1 to 2 paragraphs will do. Locale of the study refers to the location of the study. Okay, I think that won't take you more than 2 paragraphs. Okay, 2 paragraphs will be extreme. Units of analysis, what are the aspects that you need to or you want to analyze? Let's say you want to analyze, in this case, they want to analyze what are the socio-demographic profile. So you just make an you just have to write that on units of analysis. Okay, give me a second, let's go a little slow here. Okay, units of analysis, and then you also want, for example, you also want to determine the illnesses or the ailments of the respondents. As the word implies, units of analysis are the aspects that you want to measure or that you want to give focus on in your study. Okay, now after the units of analysis, which could be 1 to 2 paragraphs at the most, you have methods of data gathering. This is quite extensive. Okay, it includes the procedures, the type of respondents, or simply it includes the methods, okay, of how you conducted the research. Include the type of respondents, students, are they married or single, okay, what are their educational attainments or educational background, etc. Chapter 4, it's going to take care about the presentation of data and data interpretation. Okay, so again, you need to give 1 to 2 paragraphs introduction, just to ease in the readers of your paper. Now, this is a part where you can include table or tables, and graphs or any illustration. Okay. You can also include the sample questionnaire. What are the questions or the answers of the respondents. You have the summary of questions and answers. Chapter 5, the summary, conclusion, and recommendation. Alright, let's go back to this part. Let me clarify this part, okay? This chapter 4, presentation of data and data interpretation. Give me a second. Okay. In the presentation of data, you can be very flexible. What you are trying to do here is to um, present data in the most understandable and the most convenient way. Let's say I'll make a first example using tables. Okay, assuming that your study is about study excuse me. Okay, a little cough there. About the study of faith healing, um, and the demographic backgrounds, uh, let's say experiences in faith healing. Okay, let's say that is the sample of your sample title of your study. You need to present a table, for example, on the different respondents that you have. Let's say you have three categories of respondents, okay, and then the answer that you have is either yes or no. Okay, just an example. What I'm trying to show you is how you can make tables in the most convenient, in the easiest way possible for your readers to understand it. Okay, let's say you have three categories of respondents. You have either a yes or a no. Then you have another section for type of respondents. Alright, so assuming that these are um, faith healers, okay, now we are going to take just give me a second, alright, just to make it more clear. Okay, you have faith healers, and then you have respondent 1, respondent 2, and respondent 3. Okay, you have their experiences as let's say they have a yes, and then the other one has a no. Let's give it a chance. Okay, so and then you have another category for um, professionals. Okay, respondent 1, respondent 2, respondent 3, and then you have a yes or a no. Now you have also perspectives coming from what? Random people. Let's just say random people. Okay, respondent 1, respondent 2, respondent 3. Okay, so basically what you have here is you have three categories among faith healers. Okay, among faith healers, and then You also have another category for professionals. Let's say you are going to talk to sociologists, doctors, and even priests. Okay, and you're also going to have the third category here, which is just the random people. It can be a student, it can be a churchgoer, or I don't know, anybody. Okay, this research is quite rough, and I don't expect that it's going to be, that top caliber. The purpose of this research is to develop your skills in going to the library, doing all the work on opening books, opening theses, and then just doing time to understand how the research process goes. Okay, so random people also, anybody, and then you have to just tally the answers. Okay, remember that we are talking about chapter 4, the presentation of data and data interpretation. Okay, and what you're trying to present here is a table in table form. After presenting a table form, you need to give an interpretation of data. Okay, according to the table above, blah blah blah, that most of the faith, that let's say that 3 out of 3, or I'm sorry about that, 3 out of 3 respondents are feeling better, blah blah blah. It depends on how you interpret it, and please remember to be thorough. Okay, to be thorough in your interpretation of the data. Now, some of you might have questions, or might use the in-depth interview, and then you just have different questions. Okay, what's happening here? Just give me a moment. Okay, you have question 1. Let's say you have 5 respondents. R1, R2, R3, R4, or R5. And then for R1, you have question 1, answer 1. Okay, you have question 2, answer 2. Okay, let me edit that. Okay, let's try just doing 3 questions. Okay, so it won't be long or longer than expected. Okay, so you are just going to replicate that for the second respondent. Okay, and then replicate that again to the third respondent, fourth and fifth respondent. Okay, assuming that all of them belong to the same category, assuming that all of these respondents are belonging to the same category. Okay, so that's how you do it. After doing the presentation of the questions and the answers, you just need to make a summary of the question and the answers as a means of doing an interpretation. Okay, I hope that's clear. Now, you also have chapter 5, which includes the summary, conclusion, and recommendation. Now, for the summary, you are going to synthesize from the start of what was in the start of your study up to the end, and then after doing a synthesis on that, provide a conclusion. Then lastly, provide what are the recommendation. These parts could just take you 1 to 2 paragraphs. Conclusion, 1 to 2 paragraphs as well. Recommendations, 1 to 2 paragraphs as well. Okay, now Tips for survival, I have given to you. I have given this to you in class. Make a strict timetable for the group. I'm sure you have followed that already. Okay, I'm assuming you have a clear division of labor. Um, let's try to say that's also okay. And we have, or you have done your occasional visits to the library. Okay. Um, I'm also going to give you the format of the cover page right now. Okay. You have the Ateneo seal, title of your study. Okay. Title of your study. What else? Name of the group or members. Members 1, member 2, member 3, member 4, member 5. Then you have here the date of study or the date of submission. Okay, for the date, let's put there September 2012. Okay, I think that's enough. Okay, so you have the Ateneo seal, the title of your study, the name of the members, the date. I don't know if I think I gave some other format to one of the classes. Please, if you think that you want to put some additional features, just let me know. Okay, just let me know, so that you can, you can have a go signal from me before doing so. Okay, so I I am really not that, expecting a research paper that is like a thesis caliber, like for a fourth year college student. But nonetheless, what I do expect is that you give your analysis, you give your skills in writing into this research paper, and you need to show that you're resourceful. Um, so how would I know that? You would be able to present different ideas coming from different books, not only internet sources, but as well as ideas from actual books in the library or actual researches in our library. All right. So what else? What other concerns that do we have? Um, you also need to give me a second, right? Let me just verify that on my list. Okay, should relate to literature. I guess that's about it. Please let me know if you have some ideas, suggestions, or anything that is important. Just call my attention. Send me an IM or send me a private message, or you can even leave a message in our Facebook group. Okay. I do hope that you find this short presentation, short screencasting helpful, and I do hope that you do your best. Just one last thing. After the research paper, after chapter 5, allocate a page. Okay, just give me a moment. Why is this like this? Just give me a moment, okay? Okay, you need to allocate a page about or for the um, okay, the group members. Okay, name John Doe number 1, then contribution, blah blah. Okay, Okay. Now you have again, say, John Doe number 2, and then his contribution or contributions. Okay. It depends on how many members you are in a group. Remember that this is part, again, the grading for this paper is partly about uh, of the paper being a group work and a paper being an individual contribution. Okay, so I do hope you give time, you give heart into it. I know you have been suffering, you have been sweating really hard for this, for the success of this research paper. I'm I already expect that, the papers that you are going to produce is not completely the same as the papers of graduating students, but nonetheless you would get yourself into the discipline, into the process of doing simple social researches. I do hope that you find this screencasting helpful, and please just call my attention if ever you have any question, um, anything that you need to be, anything that you need clarifications on or clarification on. Please let me know. I hope you have a great evening. Good luck, and I'm looking forward to read your papers. Thank you. Bye.